Okay, this is session number 3 of our 70-day program for strong side splits. So that means we're doing 12 reps of each of our stretching exercises today. If you like, put on some music and let's get straight into this warm-up with squats to start us off. These are for our quads and glutes, and we have 1 minute to do 30 of them. Now, as we start today's session, I'm going to remind you that our goal isn't just side splits, but strong side splits for functional flexibility. And that's going to require you to get progressively stronger at progressively greater ranges of motion. And you want to be strong at your maximum range of motion because that's the key to functional flexibility. And that's going to translate into stronger, faster, higher kicks for you and reduce your chance of injury. Now that's our goal, but we're not going to achieve that in a single set of squats like this. So just take it easy for now and only increase your intensity when you're comfortable. Okay, next up we have ham spines. We have 30 of these to do in 1 minute 30. And I've always found that to be pretty much just enough time if I work through these at a moderate rate. Just remember to keep your back straight as you work through these. Chin up, eyes up, and shoulders back. And all of that will help you keep your back straight and the stretching load on your hamstrings. Of course, you could go lower. Anyone could go lower if they bend their back, but then you're going to miss out on warming up your hamstrings. Well, we're about halfway through the set now, so if you feel like you can, see if you can increase your range of motion, even if it's just a little bit. Just listen to your body and remember that this is just a warm-up. Keep the intensity low until you really feel like you can start to ramp things up. Next up, we have 45 seconds to do 30 elbows, knees. Target muscle with these are our adductors, but of course, just take it easy. If you struggle with this stretch because your quads are burning out, try to really get your feet out wide and then lean forward. Like really try to tip forward so that you're leaning, so that you're really resting your elbows on your knees. Then your quads are going to do a lot less work. On the other hand, if you sit back or lean back, your quads have to do a lot more work and you'll take the focus off your adductors. Anyway, experiment with the position until you can work your adductors without burning out your quads. Let's get into our 15 side squats now, and we have quite a bit of time, a full minute 45 to really work our adductors again. Start with your feet as wide as you can without compromising your balance throughout the movement. Then you just need to squat down on one side with your other leg extended straight out on the other side. At the bottom of the stretch, you should feel a stretch through the adductors of your extended leg. If you don't, then you might find it helpful to lean forward a bit. Just to let you know, this exercise, the side squats, these are not an easy exercise. I'm just saying that in case you find them really challenging, but you'll be fine because we'll include these throughout the entire program, so you've got a lot of time to get used to it. Oh yeah, I should have said that if you really want to make these easier, just use your hands to support yourself throughout the movement. You can rest your hands on the floor at the bottom of the squat or rest your hands on your legs or hips. That way your legs won't have to work so hard. Okay, so just keep working through these reps, and as you feel that you can, try to make the movement lower and wider. Great work with that. Let's get straight into our next exercise, front leg ups. We have 1 minute 30 to complete 20 reps for each leg. So try your best to do each leg in around 45 seconds or so. The target muscle is our hamstring group, and we really want to focus on good technique so we hit them properly. Try to keep your back as straight as you comfortably can. Obviously, you have to lean back a bit so you have a counterweight for your leg raise. So when I say keep a straight back, I mean try not to arch your back and lean forward. If you do that, you shift the stretching load away from your hamstring. So if you do it, yeah, of course, you might be able to get your leg a bit higher, but you won't be stretching your target muscle. Now, you've only had 2 sessions to practice this exercise, so don't worry if it's not perfect yet. No stress. You've got another 9 weeks coming up, so you can keep practicing then. So I'll keep reminding you about good technique and reminding you to try to isolate the movement so it's just your leg doing the work. Obviously, your leg's a really big limb, so we're probably not going to ever isolate it perfectly, but the better you can do it, the more you'll be training your strength and control rather than training a wild kind of swing. Because what we want specifically is a controlled leg raise, not a leg swing. Keep working through these, and when you finish, you can take a break and get into position for the next warm-up exercise. Okay, let's finish our last warm-up exercise, side leg ups. Again, we have 1 minute 30 to get through 20 reps for each leg. And besides the position, the side position and the target muscle, a lot of the technical points from the front leg ups still also apply to this. So those points were keep your back straight throughout the movement and try not to swing your leg. Right, so in regards to a straight back, you really need to make sure you don't lean forward, that is over your front or over your chest. Instead, try to lean to your other side, I mean the opposite side to your leg raise. That way you'll be able to focus the stretch on your adductor group and the workload on your abductor group. And to help you not swing your leg, just like for the previous warm-up exercise, do your best not to create momentum with any other part of your body. Like I said before, it's probably going to happen a bit, so while you might not be able to eliminate it, still do your best to reduce it. Try to just lift your leg by using your abductors, the muscles on the outside of your leg. Now you're probably halfway through or maybe on your other leg already, so you might be warmed up enough to start to increase your lift just a little bit. If you can, that's great. If not, there's no harm taking it easy for now. Let's get straight into our stretching exercises with 12 reps in each of them today. First up, we've got full side splits, and remember, you only need to do what you can with these. Just go as far into the stretch as you can comfortably, and then start to contract your adductors from there. Now, you don't have to be a real tough guy with these yet. I mean, you might be a real tough guy, but unless you've been training your adductors intensely and frequently, you're still going to get all the same benefits if you just take it easy. Because, and I can guarantee this, okay, I promise that later in this program, definitely in the advanced stretching sessions, you are going to do some seriously hard work. Take it easy for now so that you don't get DOMs and miss any sessions waiting to recover. The hard stuff is definitely coming soon enough, so for now you can just cruise a bit and focus on good technique. Let's get into these standing adductor stretches. We have 12 on each leg today and 1 minute 10 to complete them. The target muscle is in the exercise name, so really focus on your adductors. I'm going to encourage you again, don't go too hard. Like I said in the intro videos, unless you were already doing a lot of serious flexibility training, there's just no way you're ready for a very hard flexibility session right now. And on top of that, there's just no way you're ready for a really hard, strong flexibility session yet. I mean, you could go hard, sure, but it'll take you a week to recover and get over your DOMs. And what's going to happen in a week? You know, for some people, a week of no training is enough to derail their momentum and discipline. So if you're like that, then I really hope you took my encouraging advice in the last session not to go too hard, and also not to go too hard even in this session, or probably not even in the next week of sessions. So with all of that, I'm really encouraging you just to take it easy. Your body will adapt, and soon enough you will be able to work much harder in this program. Okay, standing hamstrings are on now, so let's get into position for that. Let's do our 12 reps for each leg, and remember that the target muscles are the hamstrings, so make sure you're specifically stretching and contracting them. And to target them properly, make sure you're not bending your back. Keep your back straight, keep your chin up, and keep your shoulders back. That should help. Still, if you don't do that, if you don't use the correct technique, then you won't even work the target muscles properly. You won't work the hamstrings properly. Sure, you'll be able to lean forward further and increase your range of motion that way, because you're bending your back, but that'll just mean you're missing your hamstrings, maybe missing your hamstrings completely. Okay, so don't worry if you're not bending very far. Take a look at me on the screen. I'm not leaning forward very far, and I'm definitely working my hamstrings, working them very thoroughly. Just remember, at the peak of your stretch, as far as you can go comfortably, remember to contract your hamstrings by pushing your heel through the floor. Side squats now, and we have 12 of these on each leg. Our target muscles are the adductors again, so make sure you're really targeting them. Make sure you feel them at the bottom of the squat, even if it's just a light stretch, and then make sure you contract them as you lift into the next squat. Again, even if it's just a light contraction for now. So as usual, you need to stretch and contract. Stretch, contract. And like I said before, yes, you're going to engage your quads as you push out of the squat. That's just mechanically necessary. That's just how the exercise works. But just try your best to flex your adductors with your quads. Take your time to experiment if you need to, because it's much more important that you do these correctly than just, bang out 100 of them the wrong way. Okay, when you're finished with them, and don't rush if you haven't finished them yet, it'll really help if you get into position for the next exercise, for the seated adductor stretch. Okay, last exercise for this cycle. Let's do our seated adductor stretch. We have 12 reps for this set, targeting our adductors again. Remember to adjust the technique in a way that helps you hit your adductors. Maybe you get a full stretch contract without using your elbows, that's fine. Or maybe you get a full stretch contract by lying all the way back. That's fine too. Either way, do your best with this exercise. It's probably the nicest of them all because it's really easy to control how much you stretch your target muscles, and it's really easy to control how much load you put on them. Okay, that's great. You've done really well to make it through the first cycle of exercises. We've got 2 cycles to go from here. Let's start again with full side splits, 12 reps in 1 minute. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, focus on the technique, 4, 5 contractions, 6, control the stretch, 7, 8, 9, contract the stretch, 10, 11, and 12. Great work. Take care as you ease out of your max ROM. Here's a really important tip with all of your exercises. As soon as you finish a set, use the leftover time to move into your next exercise. Obviously, you can pause the video at any time you need, but besides that, I purposefully didn't design any rest breaks into these sessions, so it'll really help to keep moving and use any spare time to get ready for the next exercise. Okay, 12 reps in our standing adductor stretch for our adductors. When you're in position, and 1, 2, 3, keep your back straight, 4, 5, 6, keep your chin up too. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, great work with the first leg. Let's change it over and finish off the other leg too. When you're comfortable in position, let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, keep the stretch. 5, 6, and then contract the stretch. 7, 8, 9, 10, almost done. 11, and 12. Great work. Let's get into position for standing hamstrings. Okay, standing hamstrings, targeting our hamstrings with 12 reps in 1 minute 20. Okay, that's 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure it doesn't hurt. 6, 7, back straight. 8, 9, shoulders back 2, 10, 11, last one, and 12. Well done. Let's change legs and keep going. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Lean at the hips. 5, 6, 7. Chin up. 8, 9. Look up too if it helps. 10, 11, and 12. Great, excellent work with that. Let's move into side squats. Side squats. Okay, we have 12 of these to do in 1 minute 20. Let's go. And 1, 2, 2. Remember to engage your adductors. 3, 4, 5, 5, contract in the stretch. 6, 7, and 8, 8, keep your toes up. 9, and 9, lean forward if it helps. 10, and 10, 11, and 11, 12, and 12. Let's move straight into our seated adductor stretch and finish off these 12 reps, making sure we work our adductors. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, make sure you stretch and contract. 4, take it easy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. Great work. You've just finished the second cycle. Now we have one more cycle to go. Let's get into position for our next exercise, the full side splits again. Okay, it's our very last set of full side splits, so let's really focus on good technique here. And take your time to ease into position so you feel comfortable and safe at your maximum range of motion. 12 reps of these, let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, contract that stretch. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, now be careful as you move into position for the next exercise. Of course, you can stretch or even rest a bit too, but just make sure you're up and ready for the standing adductor stretch when it's on. Last set of standing adductor stretches. Now we've got 12 reps for each leg and a minute 10 to get them all done. So when you're in position and ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's change over and finish off the next leg. When you're comfortable, let's start our first rep. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. Great work again. When you're ready, start to move into the standing hamstrings so we can do them straight away. Okay, standing hamstrings, last set of 12 on each leg. Let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, great. Next leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost done, 11, and 12. Excellent. That's all for standing hamstring stretches. Start to get ready for the next exercise, side squats. We have our last set of side squats to do, and it's just 12 reps on each leg. Let's get started. Okay, that's 1. And 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 3. Take it further if you can. 4, and 4. 5, and 5. 6, and 6. Contracted the stretch. 7, and 7. 8, and 8. Stay focused on good technique. 9, and 9. 10, and 10. 11, and 11. One more for each leg. 12, last one, and 12. Done. That's our side squats finished for this session. We have one more exercise to go, the seated adductor stretch. So let's get into position for that and make a start. One, 2, 3, 4. Focus on good technique. 5, 6, 7. Make sure you're contracting your adductors. 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. Excellent. That's really great. We've completed our third session, the last one for this week. And well done for working through another session because you're now just a little bit closer to strong side splits. Now today's tip might feel a little bit like homework because I'm going to recommend the book that really first taught me how to stretch. And it's this, Stretching Scientifically by Thomas Kurz. Now, I'm not going to go into the book here, or I know this 70-day program is going to turn out to be a 170-day program. All I need to say is that it's pretty much the Bible on flexibility, and specifically performance flexibility. Everything's backed up by a massive bibliography of references to real research, and more than that, the author practices what he preaches. You should be able to find him on YouTube, quite advanced in age, performing cold, suspended side splits with no warm-up. So to me, that really makes him the real deal and a real authority on this subject. And with the book, he's written very thoroughly on the topics, so I really recommend that you make time to find a copy of Stretching Scientifically. And on top of that, do leave a comment to let me know how you went with today's session or if you have any questions. And if you want to work on more than strong side splits, make sure you subscribe to this channel and check out the other progressive training videos that we've got here. And then when you come back after the weekend for the next new video in the series, we're going to modify some of this week's exercises so we have something a bit more challenging to adapt to. On top of that, we'll add another rep to each exercise as we continue training for strong side splits. And I'm really looking forward to having you back then.